So 6 people maximum.
6 people maximum. 8 if you absolutely have to. But let's keep it single digits, guys. Let's keep all orgies single digits.
Thank you, Governor the Penny.
You're welcome.
Governor Penny.
Governor Penny.
My.
And
Wow. 321.
Jesus.
321-339-1055. I-4 Ultimate speeding up work, apparently. As you know, the I-4 Ultimate project here in Orlando, way behind schedule. However, they are having their workers work absolutely full-time during this outbreak.
I don't know if they're doing work though, because when I was coming down Lucian Way, whatever, however you pronounce that, one of the construction workers, he was power washing the side of the bridge, like the I-4, you know how it ramps up. He's just power washing the side of the wall with a hose. I'm like, really? Of all the construction
I think that's
stuff?
his job. It doesn't mean like he's a construction
But of all the
worker.
things that could be happening though, power washing the wall right now?
According to
What if he's not in construction?
According to I-4 Ultimate
Landscape.
spokespeople, almost everything else has come to a stop nationwide. We are absolutely moving forward with the I-4 Ultimate project. They say because there's much less traffic, they hope to be able to get the I-4 Ultimate project and other projects done around the state even faster. No one from I-4 Ultimate project would talk on camera about this, which is not surprising. As you know, this is a consumer protection program. We've often invited them on the program here, and they refuse every time, Brianna, right?
Mm-hmm.
They will never come on and talk to us on the radio.
Or they'll agree and then like cancel. Like
And not
weird.
show up.
It's real weird.
Suspect.
And this is another time. I'm trying to say something good about you, and you won't even come on the show and talk to us.
Right.
They say if traffic decreases continue, they believe that they can actually maybe even get this thing completed on time now. Last year, I-4 Ultimate was 9 months behind schedule for reasons like Hurricane Irma, fatal accidents, which they never want to talk to us about. And now it's expected to be completed late next year, late sometime in 2021, but they think that this might accelerate it. I mean, how does having less traffic really make a huge difference, you think?
It does
How?
help because, well, I mean, when there's a lot of traffic, it's hard to get certain things done, and closing off, they have to close off certain lanes and this and that. Well, less traffic, I'm going to be optimistic and hope that they actually can get some progress done, put a dent in it by next year. That's my early prediction.
I've watched a ton of movies over the last 3 days. Have you? I mean, there's nothing to do at night. I go home and I talk to my daughter. I'm like, hey, Sophia, she's 7. Hey, Sophia, what do you want to do? And I'm like, never mind.
What are we streaming?
There's nothing to do. I mean, the only thing to do is really watch movies, right?
What are we streaming?
What else is there to do at night? Any other thoughts? What else can we do at night? I really don't eat, watch a movie, eat again, get fat. I'm getting fat, man. I'm putting on a ton of weight.
Working out.
Do what do you mean do? Pull-ups in the doorway?
That's it. You don't
That's
have to do
not
anything
fun
crazy.
for me.
It's not that it's fun, but Joe Rogan was talking about this on his latest podcast. Basically, because he broke it down scientifically, but basically, working out helps with your immune system, in a sense. So
I just
hate some push-ups, just get some blood flow. That's all. Just get a little blood flow.
Yeah, I need to. Lurch, you're in the best shape in the room other than Brianna. What do you do?
Actually, we've been like taking jogs.
Jogs?
Yeah.
That's cute.
I've been meaning to say this on the air for so long. Not that
What?
it's nothing crazy, but I think about it on driving and I forget. Yo, there's been a lot of hot chicks out jogging, man.
Is that right?
Oh my God! Today I saw this tall
Down
daughter.
OBT?
She was jogging down by a Hollow Branch over here,
Oh.
where the nice neighborhood is. Oh, tall, white girl, brunette, with a nice tan, slim.
So what are you saying? You like this virus
I
outbreak?
like all the chicks out jogging
Okay.
right now. I'm
Love all
loving
the
it.
chicks out. Good to know.
All right, let me tell you what I've watched. And I would like to hear from you also anything else that I'm missing out there that's streaming right now. So
So tell us what you're streaming and then what app you're using so the listeners can
I
also
only
if they
do
wanna watch.
Netflix and Prime. Those are the only two. I don't do this Disney deal yet.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't do it because one time I signed up for ESPN Plus and then Brianna yelled at me that I could have done it like if I did ESPN at the same time as I was like. Then I got confused and pissed, and I was like, whatever. And I was
Also, it's
not
my
gonna do it.
fault.
Well,
No,
it's not
no,
really
he
your
said-
fault as much as it was just confusing.
He said I got frustrated and I don't do it.
Yeah. So last night I finished what's the tiger deal that everyone's
Tiger
talking
King.
about?
Tiger King?
Yeah, I watched the Tiger King.
That's so
The whole thing? Or
Yeah,
like-
I watched it over the last few days. Finished it last night.
Wow. All right. So what's it about? 'Cause I haven't watched it yet. I want to
The
watch it. I'm
Tiger
gonna watch
King is about some whack jobs. It's all across the board whack jobs. But Brianna has so it's this crazy dude. It's this crazy dude who marries two other. What do you call it? A thruple? They're in a
Thruple.
thruple.
Yeah, thruple.
He's in a thruple.
Okay.
And
Two
then
women.
That's a thing.
he loves collecting big cats, like tigers and lions and things. And then there's this other lady who has the big cat rescue in Tampa,
Yeah.
Okay.
who hates them, and they go at it. And then there's also some mention that maybe she killed her husband back in the day.
There's like a whole episode dedicated to that one.
And oddly
Oh,
enough,
I gotta see
Brianna knows this lady. Tell me about your story.
We're not friends,
Well,
but
you've met her.
I have met her several times, and it was because I used to work at a resort, and they had several big cats on the resort. They had several small cats too, like regular house cats. And one day it was.
Can you say
raining.
what resort this was or no?
Nah.
Damn.
I'd rather not.
All right,
What
go.
town?
Same
What
as
town was
regular
it in?
timeshare.
What town was it in?
It's in Orlando.
What county? Osceola or Orange?
I think it's in Osceola.
What does it rhyme with?
535.
Does it rhyme with Ilton?
Nope, it rhymes with Barrington.
Barrington. So it's Barrington?
Okay. So, anyways, I picked up a cat one
What
day.
is the
Let us
first
tell the
letter?
story, man.
What is the first letter of the resort?
Right.
I
He was
know-
like,
you know,
Just
get
say
this
the
girl
name
in
of the
trouble,
resort.
man.
just say the name, and then we'll do it.
no, Justin.
I
Don't
think
read
we
my resume.
pinpointed down.
So, right. This guy's crazy. Anyways, I picked up a cat. She was really small, the size of a can of Coke. She was really tiny, black-ish. She didn't really have a lot of fur. Long story short, it turns out she was a puma that I accidentally took home.
Whoa. So you found a stray puma
I
on the street.
did.
And brought it home.
I did.
How do you
Not
bring
on
home
the street. Like
Where?
she was on the resort property, and there was a mother of a black house cat mom
Mhm.
that just had a litter of kittens,
Mhm.
and I just assumed it was one of hers that just got
Oh,
separated.
then that poor I said bobcat. A puma probably,
So
probably
she was
tried
like-
to join their family.
I don't know what she tried to do, but the thing is, she was separated. She was by herself. It was raining. I picked her up. I took her home. She came right up to me. So I was like, all right, this thing's kind of ugly. Whatever. I don't care. There was no immediate. There was some, like she didn't eat regular cat food. Like so, she ate what I ate.
She ate humans.
Pretty much.
How did you know it wasn't a regular cat? Because she ate me.
Right, she ate me. No, my vet told me. After
So it looked like a regular
she
cat?
did. So actually, I took
It's
her
a
home.
puma.
I took her
I'm
home.
gonna look at baby pumas.
Yes,
Look
Yeah.
up, make sure they're black, make sure they're little, and
Baby
she
black
doesn't
puma.
look. Okay, let me find a picture of my cat.
So you're on this resort that you won't tell us what it was, and you pick up a baby puma.
Baby monster cat.
And how long did you have the baby puma at your house?
7 months.
7 months.
Yeah, she got pretty big during that time. I figured it out around 3 months.
That's hilarious though. Like
Yeah,
to
it
see
was
it
around 3
growing like
months
that.
that I, because like they put her on steroids. She had like a skin condition, so they put her on steroids so her hair would go back, and then she started getting spots, and I was like, huh. Like
Did
that
they
was
put her on
getting
regular
big.
cat then?
She's
Like they were
getting-
using regular cat
Yeah,
stuff on her?
they put like regular cat stuff on her, and then she started getting really big, and I was like, oh, those steroids are working.
So
I googled baby puma.
yeah.
They're adorable though.
I mean, they are cute.
She is cute. She was a cutie pie.
And then, so at about 3 months, you knew this is not a regular house cat.
Right. So then immediately I start looking for places to, take her or look at. There's a 3-month course you can take if you want to hold an exotic animal. At the time I was living in Thornton Park, so I didn't. I talked to my landlord and they were like, yeah, so you're not going to have the ability to keep.
You're like, it doesn't say you can't have pumas on the leash.
You can't have the whole cat here, so like you got to figure out what you're going to do with it. And I was like, all right, cool. And if I get caught with her, there's like a $10,000 fine for every instance I get caught with her. So I was like, okay,
That's too much.
I got to figure out what to do. All right, so I had to make a decision. So I looked around, and there's a big cat rescue in Titusville. Went down there, spoke to their team, and because she didn't want to integrate her with the cats that they had there, she recommended me to Carol down at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa.
The woman that, according to the TV show, may or may not have killed her husband.
And fed her to the cats.
I gotta
Yeah,
see
and fed the husband to
The
the big cats.
Yo,
Yeah.
this is in the Tiger King?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm watching it tonight.
Yeah, so
That's good.
I bring my cat down there, and she was Carol was so sweet, and the property was just great, and the cats loved. She gave her own habitat so she can grow. She allowed me to come see her her whenever I wanted. I didn't have to call. And then afterwards, they gave her to the zoo, which I had to call. It was like more restrictions, but I mean, like, she was just fabulous to work with. So imagine my surprise, you know, coming in my house and my husband's walking to the Tiger King and Carol's on the screen. I'm like, what is this? He was like, this is Tiger King. And I was like, I know that lady. This is the lady that had my cat. And I was like, wait, is she a good guy or a bad guy?
Yeah,
I have to go out there and whoop her
that's
ass.
what I love about these documentaries. I sit there and I play detective and I
Yeah.
try
Like,
to
I'm about to go
analyze
whoop her
them.
ass if they're talking about
I
she's
mean,
on there
psychologically,
abusing the
you
cats.
I mean, she is portrayed in the documentary as
As the antagonist, for sure.
no doubt about it. And then
Yeah.
at the end, the protagonist in the show, whatever his name is, the redneck dude
Joe
from Oklahoma.
Exotic.
Yeah, Joe Exotic is his name.
Joe Exotic.
He goes to jail for attempting to kill her.
Wow.
That's awkward.
What
But-
did you name the cat?
Paradise with a Y.
And did that name stick when you,
When I brought her down
No.
there.
or did
They-
rename her?
They called her something else, but she only responded to Paradise. I forgot what they called her. They tried to give her a different name, but ultimately I called her Paradise. So
I cannot believe you had a puma living in your apartment for at least 4 months when you knew it was a puma.
you know.
And she must have been aggressive and scratching you.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, so she played rough. She wasn't like aggressive, like attacking aggressive. She was aggressive, like she would play really hard.
Yeah, yeah.
So like if we're playing tug of war or whatever, like she get frustrated, she would like or she didn't like having her claws clipped. She didn't like being groomed.
Domesticated.
Yeah, but she was very domesticated. I mean, she was great. And there's
Yeah, it's domesticated for a puma.
For a baby.
Right.
But
I don't
naturally,
think-
they need to be out there in the forest.
Right, but here's the
slashing
thing: she
things.
didn't know what she was, so she was whatever I treated her as,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like just like a dog, or just like anything. You know,
You're a product of your own environment.
Exactly. She was a product of her environment, and she was very, very well loved. Once I realized what she was, I had to change her diet a little bit.
We're joking around, but you probably grew a bond with her, right? I'm sure you actually probably missed her, right? When you
No,
were
I
around?
definitely missed her. I cried. I used to go see her every weekend. Like when I first gave her away, like every single weekend, I was like down there hanging out with her. Carol let me put my shirt or an object of my clothes in there with her because she was like, she's gonna know you by your smell. You can leave for years, and you can come back, and
Sure.
she'll still remember you by your
Well,
smell.
well, they say smell is the strongest scent connected to memory.
Oh, that's nice. She remembered. Yeah, so I would like walk in and she would literally just come like run to the gate and like, I'm like, that's my mama. I was like, oh my
And do
God.
we know if Paradise with a Y, your pet puma, is still alive or not?
Was she in the documentary?
No.
She was not in the
Did you
doc.
recognize her?
She was not. There was another cat that I saw there. I remember that was there. That was in the documentary. And also she was listed on the website for a little bit of time too. But no, she is alive. She's actually out in San Diego right now at a bigger cat rescue. They have a really nice habitat that all the cats are able to roam in. And the laws in California are a little bit more.
Laxed?
There we go.
Liberal.
That's the word I'm trying not to use, but okay, yeah, they're a little more liberal. So they have better ways to care for her that Florida was not really able to.
So, I'm sorry, what did you feed your pet puma when it was living in your apartment with you?
I would feed her, basically a rare or medium rare version of whatever meat
Sirloin.
I was eating.
Sirloin?
Yeah, so I actually, once I realized that, like, oh, snap, okay, she isn't a typical house cat, I adjusted her diet to more fish, which she loves, and I would make sure to cook all the blood out of it. Like, I didn't want her to, like, develop an appetite for it, because eventually she would, like, if she scratched me or claws me and blood comes out, I didn't want her to think, like, oh, now it's feeding time, Like, just had to disassociate the two of those.
I mean, I gotta be honest with you. If I had an animal that I had to feed non-rare meat to because I was afraid she would eat me because I was feeding the wrong kind of meat, I'd probably get rid of the cat too.
Well, I was gonna get rid of her anyways.
Yeah, you would have waited 4 months. 4 months.
I had to find the right people because again, like you gotta
No,
realize,
you
like
did the
I
right
found
thing.
her. She
You
was.
did the right thing.
I think the vet told me she was literally 4 weeks old. Like she was little. Like she was a baby when I found her. So he was like, yeah, she's tiny. She's no more than 6 weeks old. Like this is a baby. So whatever bond you make with her, she's got it.
321-339-1055. Let me hit your text messages. Bill, send me a picture of backyard burgers. Thanks, Bill. It was pretty good. It
Bill.
wasn't bad.
Heck yeah.
Bobby said he only wears a shirt while he's driving, no pants.
You leave a fecal matter on your driving seat. I hope you're stopping again. Lights off, boy.
Oh,
I'm dead.
man. Karen checked in. Thanks to all of you for checking in. I appreciate it. 321
Karen.
339 1055. So I also rented my first early release movie. What are they calling these that are supposed to be in the theaters, but they're
Yeah.
releasing them right
Or
now?
It is
yeah,
early
yeah,
release.
yeah. Early release in terms of being released into digital.
I
and DVD,
rented
yeah.
The Hunt at $19.99. And there's something weird about renting movies at your house where you, unless it's just me growing up sort of poor, where I feel like that $4.99 is like a big hit, but then you think about it, you go spend that for a coffee, you know? So the $20 seems like a lot to pay for a movie.
They've been gouging us.
But it's not really. I mean, $20 you spend that if you
That's kinda
literally
big.
go to McDonald's, or if you were to go to a theater with 2 or 3 people, you're spending
Theaters too. I
$100.
talked to some of my grandma about that, dude. The theaters too, they've been getting us. I love going to the theaters, dude.
Yeah.
But the theaters been raping our pockets for years.
What I'm trying to say though is that $20 seems like a lot relative to normally paying what you would pay for a pay-per-view movie, but it's a movie that would have been in the theater. You would have spent $20 on jelly beans.
Okay, so
Right.
you were okay with the price? You were like, oh,
No, still, like, there's something about how you're raised that
We
you're like
had this-
pissed about it.
We had this
yeah,
whole
$20 to rent the
we
movie
had a
for 2
whole
days.
argument in our house about that,
Yeah.
and I'm like, they have to recoup at least the
Oh,
cost of the
oh,
movie.
they've been gouging
So
us.
think about it. You know, if you were to go to the movies, you're not getting in for $20.
I mean, I think it's like $12 a ticket at the theater at least, right?
Right. So I think
Yeah,
they're
it's $7
assuming.
for a small soda.
Right, but you gotta think about it. They're assuming that more than one person is gonna watch this film.
Doesn't matter.
It
Well,
does
when you
Of
went to
course.
Blockbuster Video, I could have had 30 people over my house every night, and those rentals, like you said, were $4.99. for
Right,
two
but those
movies
are they're
for a
not
week.
in theaters, love. They ain't in
So-
theaters.
So here's the difference. This is a movie that was going to be released in the theater, and that's where they make a lot of the money.
That's
of
where they get
course,
all the money. Yeah.
At the beginning of this whole thing. So they're trying to say, okay, they got to make a decision. What are they going to do? Are they going to try to? It's just like the restaurant owner who's doing takeout only right now, trying to scrape by, try to make a little bit of dough
Right.
while you're at it to get through these horrible, terrible times.
See, the mom and pop guy, I understand. Like, they're working and they have stuff out there, but they're not jacking up prices on stuff. Their prices are not doubling to make money back or anything
Yeah,
like that.
I actually have no problem with them charging $20 for for these new movies that are supposed to be in the theater. I think it's fair actually.
Alright,
I'm perfectly good at it. What do you think, Brianna? And I mean I'm the consumer protection guy, but I'm okay with it.
I think it's fair. I think it would seem unfair if you were like single
Mhm.
and like you did a lot of things for one, and you were like, even if I go
Well.
to the theater, this is still more expensive than.
But it's impossible to
Yeah.
police that. It's not like
Right.
I mean
For
everyone would
working-
check
for
the
working class-
single box.
For working class
You
people, this
can't.
is too expensive. Again, I'm reiterating something from that I've heard on podcasts listened to. The American family can't even go to a goddamn ball game, dude. Even like a sporting event is too expensive for working class people, not middle class, upper class people. Lower class people can't even take their family to a movie. It shouldn't be $75 for or take you and your 2 kids to the movies, dude. It just shouldn't.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean,
I agree with that.
especially a ball game or a Major League Baseball game or an NBA game is very, very expensive for a family of 4. But look at Disney
So
World
if
for
they're
crying
bitching
out
now,
loud.
tell them y'all can go F yourselves. I'll reiterate again what I heard.
These,
AMC, the movie theater, the whole industry, all of y'all go F yourselves.
I
Man.
mean-
If y'all crying, who cares?
but if we're gonna cry about what it costs to go to a sporting event or the movie theater, we have Disney World in our backyard that is really ripping off middle America left and right
and if they're crying
nonstop.
that they lost 6 million, 6 billion, whatever,
Yeah.
them too.
I know.
Cry me a river, you know what I'm saying?
Did
Build
I-
a bridge and get over it.
I don't understand how middle class families go to Disney World. Period.
I don't know how working class people go.
I mean, I don't even know how they afford parking, let alone the hotel and the passes to get in or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
It's expensive.
They said that on average, a family of 4 for a week with the hotels, food, everything's $10,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Exactly
And
right.
I mean,
You're better off going to Italy. Well, not right now, but in regular times, going to on a European vacation. I highly recommend not going to Italy at the moment. That's very true. But anyway, so I rented The Hunt for $20. I think a fair price for a movie that's supposed to be in the theater.
Should be in
All right,
theaters.
now all that aside, I understand that why they make it 20 because yes, those movies are supposed to actually be in theaters right now. So I get
that's
so.
the whole point we were trying to make this whole.
I know, but I was making a side point that when all this is done, I hope some of these businesses go, wow, we were raping these people the American people for so long.
The Leonard Skinner documentary about their plane crash, I enjoyed that one. I watched Bombshell, you know what that is? The
Yeah.
Fox News deal. It had all the anchors that are are suing
That's on my watch
Fox
list.
News. It really wasn't that good, I didn't think. It was okay. Roger Ailes, he's the guy that allegedly was harassing them. Blow the Man Down, I watched. It's set in Maine about, it's weird. Anything that you recommend?
Wait,
Can I
say
hear
those
from you?
again? You lost me after
Bombshell.
Oh, Bombshell, yeah.
The
I
Leonard
heard
Skinner
that.
documentary.
Okay.
Blow the Man Down, the Tiger Deal, whatever it's called.
Okay.
The Hunt. And I think that's it.
Yeah, The Hunt and Tiger King is, for me, that's what I'm gonna go watch tonight.
And I did start watching the one you asked me to start watching.
Which one?
Cats?
Oh, Don't F with Cats.
Don't F with Cats.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't get all the way through it though, but
Okay.
it's pretty nuts.
It's it's
Nutty.
again, what I was telling you off the radio is it's more about, to me at least, is about the power of freaking Facebook and
Yeah.
people get together.
I totally agree. Anything, Lurch, anything on your radar that I need to be aware of?
Nah, I mean, I usually watch a lot of, like, nature documentaries.
Yeah.
and stuff
I've been
like
too
that.
because I'm a
Like,
stoner.
National
As
Geographic,
weird, I do
watch,
it sober.
Night on Earth.
Oh, yeah.
I love Night on Earth.
It shows like
I've
the
seen
animal
it.
kingdom in the evening, but the cameras that they use make it look like it's actual daytime.
Right.
We saw Midsummer, the movie on Prime,
hmm
Oh, that's a good
Great.
movie.
I almost
Yeah.
watched that.
That's-
It was pretty
Yeah,
good.
you should
but don't
It's
watch
good.
it with your little one.
Well,
you gotta watch
please.
it.
She's already,
No, yeah,
Seen 'em.
but trust me.
Okay.
She's seen
That
Bad
was-
Santa.
that was- that was going too far?
Don't let them watch.
Okay.
That kind.
There's
that
a
kind
whole
of
scene that could be
Okay.
rated X.
Okay, Grandpa. Brianna, anything from you I need to be
That's
aware of?
funny. Not really, no.
What are you, I mean, what are you doing at night then?
I go on jogs. I am
At
working.
night?
Well, in the evening. Yeah.
Same thing, but alright.
I'm afraid of bears in my neighborhood. You don't want to run at night in my neighborhood. There are bears, too many bears.
So you got bears, she has pumas. I don't know what we're gonna have.
Yeah,
Who
but
has
at least I don't
lions?
keep,
Who got the lions?
at least I don't keep pumas in my apartment.
Can I tell you that like I literally thought like I'm just gonna open the door and let her leave one day and then maybe she won't come back.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like that was like the thing, and then I was like, it's October. She might like take one of these kids trick or treating. I'm not gonna do it.
No.
Let's not do it. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not really watching. What are we watching? We're watching on Netflix The Good Place
Yeah, I
right
see.
now, which is like an old. It's not older, but it's recently ended show. That's it. We're not really TV people.
321-339-1055. And the irony of the century. You are threatening to go ride this virus out in China. A lot of people are saying they're going to go to China now
How funny is that?
to save themselves from getting the virus because there have been very few new cases in China. Well, I have bad news for you. China has temporarily suspended entry for foreign nationals with visas or residence permits beginning at midnight tomorrow night. Now, have you ever seen anything come as full circle as this, as quickly as it has? I mean, we were sitting here talking about a man eating a bat in China 3 weeks ago.
We were mad at China.
We were mad at China.
China got mad at us, so we started
Yeah.
it. And now we got people that are like, we going to China. Yeah, it definitely did go full circle.
And now China's saying you can't
Oh my
come.
God.
Because of
Now freaking Brett or whoever from the U.S. is going to be eating bats in China.
So yeah, China announced yesterday that it is not allowing foreign visitors to come to China to reduce the spread of the virus in China.
Like any foreign visitors, like
That's
they don't care if
hilarious.
you're
Yes.
American or not.
Right.
That's hilarious. They're like, yeah, we good, we clean, and if we started it, then get the hell out.
Right.
Get the hell out. If you're so
Crazy.
concerned, why are you here?
Thought I was gonna pull out the other passport. Like, no, I'm not American. Look at this. Let me in. Dang, they mad at everybody. That's it.
321-339-1055. If you're a small business owner, we're starting quarantine speed advertising, and the phone lines for that are already open. We will start it on Monday. All you have to do, listen to me, if you're a business owner and you are open, call this phone number 407-647-5332. Leave us about a 30-second message with the business name, what you're selling, what your service is, your location, phone number, website, any information that our audience can use to actually come support you during this difficult time. We call it quarantine speed advertising. We're actually going to do a full segment all next week in the second hour of this show, really highlighting your business. We're doing this to give our air to you. Again, 407 647-5332. When we come back, we'll be joined by a good friend of mine and the COO of IQ Power Solar, because you've come to me and said this $400 or $500 electricity bill every month is killing me, especially during this horrible financial crisis. Well, he has a way to reduce your electric bill from whatever it is now to basically zero. Go ahead and send your text messages and phone calls to 321-339-1055. Very short break. It's Justin Clark on the Florida Man Radio Network. I think he's here.
5 minutes and he is here.
You want me to get him or y'all gonna get him?
I'm gonna use the restroom.
So, alright.
So you can bring them on your way
Yeah.
back. Perfect.
Yo.
Same thing. Move the camera over here so we can get them. Move that mic. Move this mic.
No, leave it, yeah, I'm gonna sit in the show.
Everyone's gonna be good.
solar products from distributors. Now, if you think about it, distributors buy their products in bulk from, different vendors and different manufacturers via a credit line. A couple of things are going to slow with that. Because solar installers can't really install as much in the next couple of months, the time from contract to install is going to go from 7 weeks to, some companies might be delayed as much as 6 months, which means, these companies only have 30-day, 60-day credit lines. So if they can't install within 30 or 60 days, they're not going to buy. So now, solar companies aren't going to buy the product from the distributor until after engineering, and then, which means the distributors can't really buy in bulk anymore. Another kind of weird thing that people don't think about is your warranty takes effect the second the distributor buys the panel from the manufacturer. So they're going to stop housing panels if they know they're going to sit there for 5 months before they get installed, and they don't have 6-month credit lines either. So what's going to happen is distributors are going to start housing maybe 80% less solar panels until they're literally, certain that they can get their purchase orders fulfilled and get their cash flow. And that's just on the distributor side, Justin. On the install side, there's still a high demand in solar. So, right now people are still buying solar, except instead of them getting installed and just being a fluid flow of, purchase to install, installs are going to keep getting backed out while, purchases keep happening, but we can't, deliver. And then companies are going to have to start relying on subcontractors, and subcontractors are going to get busy, and then they're going to obviously increase their rates, just like anything else. When there's a higher demand, the rates can increase. So, there's literally probably a 15 different angle attack and where the price is going to go up. So we were already given a memo from one of our distributors that the price is going to go up 15% April 14th.
Yeah.
So, but luckily we don't use subcontractors, so we don't really have to increase our rates yet, because that's only the cost of the literal solar panel. But it's going to turn into a thing where we're going to have to pay an increase on our wires, on our racking, on our inverters. So, and thank God right now at this point we're using an American, manufactured solar panel out of Texas, because I can't even imagine how this is going to affect the companies that are getting everything from overseas.
And your home right now, one of the biggest issues with whether you're getting cable installed or having work done on your house is you have to leave work to go meet the cable guy. Or if you're getting solar on your house, you need to be there to meet the person who's going to be looking at your home to figure out what solar is best for you and how to make your home energy efficient. We're home right now anyway. We are at home. And this is not one of those things where if you decide to go this route, you're going to have to make a huge down payment. In fact, you're going to have to pay zero down. Why not take this time while you are at home to meet with Steve and his team at IQ Power Solar to see what solar can really do for you? The website is IQ Power Solar. And what's the best phone number, Steve, to call right now?
407-585-1018. And we do have a pretty proactive COVID policy in place where we can essentially have a phone quote with you. You can, email in your electric bills, answer a few questions. You can do the financing via phone or, different versions of face video and stuff like that. But, we're also a big service model. So we have our vans in homes every day, and we've converted to a no-touch thing. Like, you can just leave your garage door open. We can service your house. We don't actually have to, have face-to-face interaction with you. We don't need you to sign anything face-to-face. So, and we have a no-touch install if it escalates to that point where, so we're really following all the guidelines by the CDC, and we're taking some other proactive measures. And, and if people are super comfortable with it, under the right circumstances, we're happy to meet with them, etc.
I think you probably don't understand either when it comes to IQ. Now, a lot of solar companies are going to come and try to sell you panels to put on your roof, and that's what they do. But with IQ, it's really a whole energy evaluation on your home. So when they came to my house, they were up in my attic. They wanted to see what kind of insulation I had. It's not just putting panels on your roof. It's way more than that, Steve. Explain that whole evaluation process that you go through at IQ Power Solar.
Well, we're very close and intimate to understanding, energy behavior. So when we go into a home, we don't just look at the bill and say, hey, how can we replace this with solar instead of you buying it? We wonder where the bill comes from. We really spend a lot of energy identifying some of the key trigger points where you're wasting electricity, and we know how to make your home efficient first before we produce. One of IQ Power's key philosophies is reduce before you produce. meaning reduce your energy waste before you produce electricity, because producing electricity is much more expensive on a consistent scale than, reducing your waste. And people aren't thinking about this, but this is going to have an effect on your actual electric bill for 3 to 9 months minimum. I mean, that's literally if this thing was sorted out in 2 weeks, because right now everyone is home. So there's going to be an adjusted peak hour rate for power companies. There's a higher demand if people are literally just home all the time than power companies are essentially prepared to handle. So they're going to have to create peak rates.
Hold on, time out. They do peak rates? I didn't know this.
Well, in your bill right now,
Uh-huh.
everything over 1,000 kilowatt hours, you get charged more. So
Did you know that?
So if you use,
I didn't know that. I swear I didn't know that.
okay, if you look at your bill, you'll see 2 different cost brackets. Everything up to 1,000 kilowatt hours is roughly 10 to 11 cents, and everything over that is roughly 13 to 14 cents. So it's kind of crazy, because when you go home now, if you're home an extra 15, 20 hours a week, then all the extra electricity usage is going to be at about 130% of the cost. But what's really cool is, like, for instance, your house right now, you're actually contributing to the grid, because your house is not only using the grid's power right now as we speak, because your home's producing its own electricity, but the excess that you're not using is going to the grid. So it's almost like a bank account. Instead of taking from their bank account all day, you're actually not taking anything and you're giving them something.
But it's obnoxious that these bastards think that they can, because it's a monopoly. I mean, it's a monopoly. It's not like you're going to call 4 different electricity companies and say, oh, can you come out and give me a quote? It's one company that you can choose from. And because they have a monopoly on it, they could just charge kind of whatever they want. And, oh, well, you went over 1,000 this month. We're going to have to up your rates. That's not right. Come on. And then they have it set up to where it's monopoly, and you just put it on auto pay. Like, I guarantee you didn't know you pay more if you go over a certain usage amount, because you just pay it on auto because you don't want your electricity to be cut off.
It's funny they use the phrase monopoly, because for a long time, I think at least the last dozen years since I've been in this isolated version of the sector, I was always wondering and probing, why isn't this referred to as a monopoly? And it's because the rhetoric says it's a service. But you want to know why it's not referred to as a monopoly now? Because you can get solar.
Yeah, really?
It's not actually a monopoly if you have a choice to go with multiple programs, with no money down, with no heavy entrance point, and you can get power from solar. So it's not really a monopoly anymore. You're just making a conscious decision to pay the electric company. If you're not intentionally getting solar, then you're intentionally paying the electric company.
Yeah. I mean, we're home today. I don't know a better time than now to have one of Steve's people come over and do a full evaluation of your home. No touch. They're not going to touch anything. Trust me, if they're coughing, they're not going to be out working today. Anyway, give him a call at 407-585-1018. The website is iqpowersolar.com. There's also a tax credit that you get when you go solar, and I found this out I don't know if it's the hard way or the good way, but I got my tax bill last year when I went solar, and I was going to have to stroke a check. I think it was like $12,000 actually to the IRS for whatever. And then I filed the receipt from me going solar. Again, this is putting nothing down when I went solar, but it saved me $10,000, like real hard cash, on my tax bill at the end of the year. I mean, it really did. $10,000. These are real dollars that I would have had to pay to the IRS that I didn't have to pay because I went solar. Steve, how is the tax credit still around, and how does it work?
Yes, the tax credit's still around, and it's crazy that you just mentioned that, because I completely forgot to bring it up. But so I want you to think about something. It's 26% tax credit right now, and it's going down to roughly 21% next year. So basically, and this is why there's a demand, and this is why it's such a big deal if the install gets pushed out, because you got to think there's already a couple periods in a year where it's hard to install. Hurricane season, the holidays, Thanksgiving time, Christmas time. This is really about 80 to 90 days that we don't see productive install weeks. Okay, those are pretty consistent. So with this adding to that, and then when we come out of this, not only are installs going to be backed up to the 250th percentile, but we're going into a slow install period. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like if people are going to be kind of forced into having to buy next year at a reduced tax credit. So I'm actually a part of a lobbying campaign to try to extend the tax credit for a few months, for people that are in this kind of window of error.
It seems like they should. I mean, it's not really their fault that things are getting backed up. They didn't create the virus and this pandemic that's gripping the globe, essentially.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's going to be hard to ask them to extend a credit when they're in the midst of writing one of the largest bailouts in existence. So.
I heard that there was some fighting about some kind of solar credit extension or something in this bill. Did you hear about that?
Well, no, I didn't hear about it. But the bills that I was actually a part of were last year, and the fact that the credit dropped from 30% to 26% means that it was not successful. So I can tell you, it doesn't look like there's going to be an extension. I mean, when there was an extension in 2016, it never dropped. It got extended. And granted, they played it to the line, but it got extended from 2016 to 2019. I haven't ever seen something retroactively change and re-extended. So now, since it's already kind of engaged the drop points, it's pretty much a done deal.
I mean, it's inarguable, though, that going solar for all of these residential homes is good for the environment. Why would they not want to continue a tax credit? Why would they want that to go away? Just for revenue? I mean, why?
No, I can't really speak on behalf of what their internal plan is, but at the end of the day, in Florida especially, it makes sense with or without the tax credit. They gave people 10 years from 2006 to 2016, said, listen, we'll make it make sense. We'll give you a 30% tax credit. If you pay taxes, we'll basically pay for 30% of your system, dollar for dollar credit. Mm-hmm. And they gave people 10 years, and it's like, okay, people are like, oh, it's not going away. You wouldn't believe how many people weren't urgent in 2016, weren't urgent in 2017, weren't urgent in 2018, and now they're all going solar, and they're doing it for 4% less. And there's still people that aren't urgent now. So it's like at the end of 2022, they would have given you 13 years as a no-brainer. And in theory, the average person stays in the house for what, 15 to 17 years?
Right.
So what else do you want them to do? And I mean, they're negating a bill you're already paying. So it's just not, it's going to get to a point where it's just not their responsibility to give you more than 13 years.
If I were you, I would get IQ Power Solar out to your home today, or at least in the next week or so while you're still at home. 407-585-1018. IQPowerSolar.com. Stephen Bader is here. He's the COO of IQ Power Solar. This is no BS. I have solar at my house. IQ Power Solar did it. I couldn't be more happy. And that's why I wanted to highlight his company. I know that they're open now as well, but I also want to highlight your company. We've started the Quarantine Speed Advertising Program. All you have to do is call this phone number and leave me a voice message, and we'll highlight your business next week here on the show. 407-647-5332. Give me about 30 seconds. Your name, the business name, what you're selling, or what services you're offering. Give me a phone number, a website, and we will actually run that here on our air next week. No charge. We're not trying to charge. I'm trying to help small businesses out there who are getting destroyed right now and essentially losing everything. We're trying to help you. So 407-647-5332. More about how solar can go from a $500 electric bill like mine down to what, 30 or 40 bucks a month right after this very short break. It's Justin Clark on the Florida Man Radio Network.
4 minutes, 30 seconds.
Thank you, sir. So your phones are ringing and everything, huh?
Not really.
No?
I mean, I was able to scratch up 170 grand sales just calling people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
So the phones aren't really ringing, but you're...
Yeah, the reason I was worried about coming to town, I just closed a deal on the way here, man.
Yeah. Now, do you think that having people at home can be helpful? Because they're like, okay, well, I'm home anyway. What is that? Mine?
No, it's the one I just closed on the way here. No, I mean, but dude, I got 6. We're doing a lot more phone quotes than we're
Really?
here to handle. Yeah, man, I think 6